Closer? Is that better? All right. I really don't like writing. In fact, I've come to regard language, the spoken, written word, as one of the greatest impediments to true communication that humanity has ever devised. I think that this is probably due to my own perceived lack of proficiency with words. They're so clumsy and imprecise, and so much meaning is left to interpretation. In my mind, the most perfect way to share ideas would be some sort of telepathic mental connection through which thoughts could be conveyed exactly as they're conceived without the distortion and alteration that occurs when they are reduced to mere words. I certainly don't mean to suggest that real ideas cannot be shared through writing, because many authors and poets do so beautifully. But this ability, I think, comes from a true understanding of the function of language that I do not possess. For better or for worse, I am never I'm never really able to communicate the meaning of an idea by writing it down. However, as human beings, we are provided essentially limitless mediums for the conveyance of ideas, and we call them art. By that, I don't mean simple painting or sculpting or the terrible watercolors that so many Waldorf students must endure. I believe that if people care enough to notice, everything they do can be art. Every passion is a form of expression. Most people find something that they enjoy. Some people even find something that they excel at and devote themselves to it. If they are really lucky, they get to do this for a living, and they define their identity by it. As I'm sure is the case for many, I've had a hard time finding one thing that I enjoy doing more than anything else, though I've tried many. Music, philosophy, and art in a more traditional sense, and simply making things, or all things that I have done or do to some degree, but none that I have excelled at, and certainly none that I would identify myself by. I think that the societal notion of identifying yourself as the thing that you are best at is ludicrous and extremely limiting. I enjoy these things enough to spend some amount of time and energy doing them, but none of them have been more than fractions of self-expression. More than anything that I do, I think that simply being myself is my real passion. I've long valued my individuality above all else, and I think that in some ways I've created much of who I am in order to be different than other people. If I'm an artist and my own medium, this is all beginning to sound pretty narcissistic and pretentious, but fortunately for my ego, I've never been especially inclined to care about other people's opinions of me. And fortunately for all of their opinions, I don't think I go around telling everyone what a unique person I am all the time. Mark Twain once said, "It is better to keep one's mouth shut and be thought a fool than to open it and remove all doubt." Words to live by. I'm sure that most everyone here has heard this quote at some point, and that by simply mentioning it and presuming to draw some sort of inspiration from it, even sarcastically, I am making of myself not only a fool, but a cliché. Perhaps it would have been better had I heeded Mr. Twain's advice, ensuring a good 5 minutes of awkward silence, as I stood here with a closed mouth. No, I am content to be a fool. However, in general, I do prefer to avoid being a cliché, though to what extent I have been successful is debatable. At the very least, I didn't narrate my life in the third person. I avoided providing you with every little detail of my childhood, which I'm sure I enjoyed a hell of a lot more than you all would enjoy hearing about. I didn't recite a list of interesting facts about myself in order to appear quirky and eccentric. I think that I have also avoided imparting any sense of lasting wisdom or drastically shifting anyone's perception of the world and or themselves, and that's all fine by me. I'm no guru, despite a perhaps passable resemblance to a certain messiah, of which my peers often remind me. When I'm like 90 years old and I have a beard down to my feet, I'm going to live all by myself at the top of a mountain. People will come hundreds of miles and climb for days, and they'll finally arrive at my shack at the peak of the world. They will ask me for advice, ask me what the meaning of life is, and I will reply, I don't know, man. Figure out your own damn problems. I have no wisdom for you. I went up there to get away from all that crap anyway.